Hi Mortgage Heroes, Andy Cruz here in Business Development, and this is Monday Mortgage Minute. As I mentioned, last week was going to be packed with economic data. Month-over-month CPI, year-over-year CPI, and core CPI all came in at or higher than expected, which is a clear sign that we are still not where the Fed wants to be. Retail sales and core retail sales both came in higher than expected, which seems great on the surface, but is also evidence that on paper, the consumer seems able to keep up with these elevated prices. Remember that when I come back to entrenched inflation. The Empire State Manufacturing Index was still negative as expected, but not a good sign. PPI and core PPI both came in higher than expected, which is all but the proverbial nail in the coffin for any argument of a Fed pivot. I wish people on TV never started talking about that. It's not a thing. And last week is all the explanation you need for why this was a silly concept to go out there trying to sell the audiences on. Even unemployment came in lower than expected. Again, opposite of what the Fed needs to see happen. Building permits and housing starts came in just a sliver short of their projected numbers, but this one is really telling about the future of home prices this year. If we consider the weight of the economic information I just shared with you, you can start to clearly see that rates are going to remain elevated in housing throughout the rest of 2023. I mean, we're already 11 months past the initial interest rate hikes in March of 2022, and we're still not seeing the necessary impacts the Fed wants. So it's reasonable to expect that Fed rate hikes this month, next month, and likely in May will also take their time to work their way through the markets. So as a result, expect slight dips in prices as sellers make concessions so they can move on to the next thing they have planned for their life. And expect rates to stay between the high 5s and the high 6s, depending on the loan program you're in and the qualifications that you bring to the table. At this point, there's just no other way to slice it. Now, this week is very mild comparatively. Monday is a bank holiday, President's Day, so the markets are closed. Tuesday, we get flash PMI, which could be interesting, but certainly not as important as all the data we just reviewed. Wednesday, the Fed meeting minutes come out, and this is what I'm really looking out for because it will indicate any new change of tone and give us insight to their meeting minutes and sentiment about how they came to those conclusions, plus any forward guidance that might show us what is coming up ahead in March and into the summer. Thursday, we'll get preliminary GDP that we're hoping will match up with the most recent announcement, but some of you might remember that the top line came in at 2.9%, but when you strip out government spending and inventory replenishment, it was actually only 0.2. So this reading, we'll be looking for any notable changes that indicate a more realistic reading of the overall health of the economy. We also get unemployment on Thursday as well. Friday, we'll see core PCE. We're hoping for a 0.3% target, but anything below that would be a very welcome reading. So we can get a sense that the Fed's efforts might actually be driving this number down. But don't get your hopes up because you just heard what I said about CPI and PPI, right? Remember, with core PCE, 0 would mean no increase in costs, and a negative number would mean costs are reversing and going back down. So 0.3% projection isn't too hot, and anything, literally anything lower than that will be a very welcome sign. So what's this all mean for mortgage rates? Mortgage rates are going to head sideways this week, and every week that we get closer and closer to the next Fed meeting, the more and more anticipation will impact market rates. In the meantime, we can expect that normal fluctuations and day-by-day changes in rates will continue. If you are not subscribed to this channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you see this show each week right when it posts. And if you have not checked out our other weekly show, The Mortgage Hero Podcast, you can find that here on YouTube, but also on your favorite podcast platform. You can also look for links to our show on Facebook and Instagram. Remember to share this video with someone you care about so they can win in mortgage and real estate in 2023. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again next week.